everybody. Welcome to the 13th episode of the Swin Popcast, or the Swinburne Popcast. I guess that's what we're calling it now. We've committed. We've made a choice. This episode we're going to be talking about movies we love to hate, which is very near and dear to a lot of people's hearts in our club, because some of you may know that the Lido Cinema, just across the road from our Swinburne campus, does So Bad It's Good screenings, where they get a comedian, Zach from Auntie Donna, to come in and do like little presentation, and then they watch a terrible movie that is arguably great because of how bad it is. But with me today, I have a few people who also share a similar interest. Going to my left, first off, I have Blaze.
Hi, I'm Blaze. Yeah. What else do you want me to say? Or are you just doing introductions?
I want you to say whatever you want to say.
I personally am not a fan of the watching movies because they're really bad. But I'm really interested to know why people like those kind of movies.
This is a scandal right off the bat. We'll get into
I'm
that.
a different opinion.
Next, Jess.
Hi, I'm Jess. My first podcast for the year, actually, this one. And yeah, I have seen bad movies.
I'm sure we've all seen a fair share of bad movies. And last but not least, Isaac.
And yeah, I'm Isaac, fourth year film student, first time on the podcast this year. Did a little work on some of the other episodes this year, sort of like in the background, but sort of the resident film person.
Yeah, very
podcast.
much so. Like whenever we need weird, obscure facts about films, we just immediately think of Isaac. That's
true.
That's all is good for.
Oh my god.
I lie. Isaac's a lovely person. But let's fucking jump right into it. How about that? First off, I want to ask you guys what you feel the appeal to movies that are so bad they're good is. Like Blaze, you just said, like right off the bat, that you don't even like movies because they're bad.
I struggle. Like if I'm watching a movie and I'm like, this is bad, I'm just gonna turn it off. I don't know if we're going into much detail, and also this isn't technically a movie, it's a TV show. I think I watched the first episode of the new years ago when they were doing the Shadowhunters, I think it was. Is that the girl with the red hair? Is that Shadowhunters?
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, whatever it was. It was so the opening scene, I think this was a new season that came out. The opening scene was so bad, I laughed and closed and just left. Just exited Netflix.
So you would say it's not so bad it's good, it's just bad.
Yes, I'm not very. To me, movies, if they're good or bad.
Right. So there's no border it crosses where it becomes good again.
I haven't found them yet, so I'm interested to hear what shows I should watch according to other people. Movies that are just so amazing because they're so incredibly bad.
Yeah. What would you guys say then? Why are you drawn to it?
Well, I guess, because it is notable point, but movies that are so bad they're good is there is a clear distinction between just movies that are bad because they're just bad, and then they cross a threshold, and it's not like a linear threshold where it's it gets so bad, but it's I don't know how to describe it. It's it gets bad in ways that you're not expecting. Because I think about watching The Room. It's also personally for me, specifically talking about The Room, it's sort of a group experience. I don't think watching The Room on your own would actually be that enjoyable. You need other people to be just to just aid to show that you're not having a fever dream. And then just be hey, that's dumb, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's more of the discussion and the communal thing of laughing at something that brings that draws you into it more so than the actual movie itself. It's I get to go to a movie with friends and shoot the shit, which you don't usually do in films. It's usually taboo to talk in movies. But with the so bad it's good kind of subgenre, I guess, that's encouraged, if anything else.
Yeah, it's there's just a lot, I don't know, it's just a lot more relaxed and a lot less pressure, so therefore I don't know, inhibitions go when you're in a group. That's
Yeah.
a thing psychology-wise, isn't it?
No, totally. Like you go in without any expectations for it to be good, so no one really cares whether or not people talk during it. Isaac?
It's like the one place where heckling is like 100%
Yes.
appropriate and encouraged.
I reckon, like I mentioned, the Lido screenings of the So Bad It's Good things that happen over there, it's just like a slugfest as far as heckling goes. Like,
Yeah.
the worse the better, and it's an entire room of people, like, just shouting at the screen.
Yeah.
It's really great.
I'm just thinking, like, do you think these the people that make these bad movies, do you think they're doing it on purpose, or is it like, is it okay to make fun of movies if the people were actually trying to make a good movie versus people that are like that they made the film just to be funny?
So basically, there's this other sort of subcategory where it's like films that are sort of like taking the piss, and then there's others that are sort of like just kind of
Genuinely.
incompetent on most levels.
Yeah.
Which is where you find stuff like your Birdemics and your like Rooms of the world.
Like they were sincerely trying to make something good, but it just came out like they had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah.
And it showed.
They're just like going in blind on everything.
No, I totally agree. I actually wanted to talk about like the kind of, like you said, subgenres of the So Bad It's Good. I feel like it's a lot more common to find movies that are unintentionally so bad they're good, because that aspect of
Yeah.
like the comedy of the whole thing, like them actually thinking they're doing something amazing and then it turning out awful, is what draws me at least into watching these movies. Like, it's funny because they think that they're really good.
Yeah, I guess it's weird because like it's a genre of media that like exists entirely unintentionally and almost entirely just by chance. Like it's like, yeah, for a movie to not just be bad but to be like, you know, hilariously bad. Like, I mean, it's like no one's trying to do it because that's not how it works, and like it only happens sometimes. Like some movies are just bad, but then some, yeah, and
No, totally. Like,
yeah.
I would argue that any films that try to do it end up being not so bad they're good. They just end up not being good. They're just like one movie that comes to mind, and this is maybe controversial. Some people love it, but like the scary movie films. I watched those, and well, I watched one of those, and the vibe I got was they're not trying to make a good movie, but also it's more of a spoof situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say scary movies more of a satire, which I can look at that and go, it's purposely meant to be bad. A lot of it is aged very badly. I don't recommend watching it anymore.
Yeah.
but-
Watching the first one for the first time last year was an experience I don't want to have again.
Yeah,
Right?
a lot
It's
of
just
yikes.
not good.
It is very uncomfortable. And just like almost note for note, just the script from Scream, like without any changes.
See,
And
that's
it's
the
like
thing.
it's not that funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off on a little tangent about Scream and
Go off.
scary
King.
movie. But like Scream was a movie that was satirical of horror movies, and it did it like amazingly. It was a flawless, like, even adaptation of other movies and tropes. But Scary Movie kind of poked fun at the film that poked fun at it, and it just ended up as a, like, it was trying to be it was trying to be bad in a lot of ways, and they really accomplished it, but not in the way that they wanted to.
And it's like it's from the same studio too, so it kind of feels like this sort of like snake eating its tail scenario.
Yeah, it just comes like it's a weird full circle
Yeah.
kind of situation.
Yeah. But would you say it's similar to like movies that, like, how do you distinguish if a movie is bad because it's bad, or if it's so bad it's funny?
True.
Such as, like, I know there have been a lot of backlash with a lot of the DC films that came out, the Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, the original one, and even Justice League, the original. Where it's like, I see those, they were just bad
It's
movies.
just not good. Yeah, no.
But do we think in a couple of years' time people will start rewatching them again because it's like funny? Like I don't know. I find when a film, I feel like there must be like a grace period. Like the film comes out, it's so bad, and then as you were saying before, and then people start liking it again.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Like that's probably the biggest question in this topic. Like, at what point does it cross that threshold? Like, where is the line?
I want to say like about sort of like maybe 10 to 15 years, maybe like give or take a few.
So you're adamant that there is like a time period.
There is a
it has
time
to go
period.
through.
It's like, the film will come out and people will hate it and like it'll become a joke for a bit. But then over time, people will sort of like come back to it and reevaluate it. We're seeing that sort of like films, especially from like sort of the 90s and the 2000s, seeing more of that now.
Totally.
So like films like Super Mario Brothers, the original Super Mario
Yes.
Brothers, Showgirls, and some stuff like Domino, which was like a sort of like action film from the mid 2000s, sort of like kind of didn't do too well, but people are coming back to it and being like, this is cool.
I don't know if I fully agree with the grace period because, like, on one hand, it does help. Like, it certainly adds to it. Like, looking back, it's kind of like finding a lost treasure sort of thing.
Yeah.
But also, one of the things you mentioned, like Mario, when that came out, it was immediately, for me at least, just hilarious because of how batshit insane it was. Like, it was so far removed from regular Mario and so, like, poorly done that I couldn't help, like, even a couple years after it came out, I think, just finding it to be the most funny thing.
Honestly, I think that's what's so great about it. You take two like first wave MTV directors to make like a Blade Runner-esque adaptation of Super Mario Brothers.
Like Blade Runner. Oh my god.
Do you think they're going to try and do this again with the new Mario movie? Like, do you think they're...
I would hope so, but like, I
doubt
don't know.
Do you think they're creating it because they know it'll be memed?
I reckon they
They have
think
to
so.
know it's going to be ripped apart by the
they know.
memes.
No, 100% they know. But whether I don't think that's the intention though. If anything, I reckon it's a redemption arc for the Mario franchise.
Look how... Yeah, let's see how badly this part of the segment ages when the movie comes out.
I mean, I would comment on the fact that, like, the whole idea of, like, as you said, like, the grace period is, like, 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
I would argue that, like, two big exceptions of that are, like, The Room and Birdemic, both of which sort of achieved that status within, like, a few years.
Yeah.
Like, because I remember Birdemic literally, no, The Room, like, it sort of attained that sort of cult status, like, within a year. Like, while it was still in cinemas. Well, as far as I remember, as far as I know the story going.
I feel like The Room is such a... Like, it's
a wild card.
It's the example that people think of when they think of So Bad It's Good because of just how insane and dedicated the fucking Louis Wiseau was about making just...
You just call him Louis Wiseau?
Is that not his name?
Tommy
Tommy.
Wiseau.
Tommy Wiseau. Well, fucking, yeah, look at me, fucking film student over here. But no, it really is. It's like maybe it's unfair to compare it to other So Bad It's Good movies because of just the level of the So Bad It's Good energy that it had coming into existence.
Yeah.
It's just, maybe that's the extreme version.
Can I say something very controversial? I've never seen The Room.
You know what, Blaze? I've never sat through the entire film either. It's, yeah, right?
Okay, I'm not a film student. I didn't think it would be that crazy, but oh my gosh.
Look,
but like,
I will admit, I've seen it a few times in groups and on my own. It's a pretty tough film to get through if you're not like somewhat inebriated and with a large group of people in a cinema.
I watched it once. Okay, first I watched it like, look, it was like late 2020. It was like we were in the depths of lockdown. People were going crazy. I watched The Room with my mum. I don't know why I did that. She didn't enjoy it, but I was like, I can't watch this alone. And then the only other time I've seen it was at Lido it was like, the classic room screening where people are throwing spoons at the screen.
See, I look at that and I'm like,
People are
that
running
does...
down the front to like wave at Tommy.
I remember you did that during the
did that,
Birdemic screening. You were the only person.
I was
to
the
do
only
it.
person who brought a coat hanger to like mime along with the like swinging coat hangers at the birds.
People loved it.
Yeah.
See, I look at that and I don't find that enjoyable to watch a movie that you don't think you can get through really well. Like, I get secondhand like cringe really easily.
Yeah.
And so I'll see those scenes and I'm like, how do you watch this? Like, how do you get through it?
I think that's the thing. You don't actually watch the movie. You experience the movie and everything surrounding the movie, including the people who are with you. So it's like the movie's half of it, but the other half is, like the experience of being there with people. But even if you do it by yourself, it's like, what am I doing with my life? What am I taking away from this experience?
I can't imagine watching the room on my own. That just sounds rough. I don't think I could get through it.
That's why I just find this concept so interesting because I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
Watch a movie purposely because it's bad.
Maybe we've got to convert you.
Yeah, we need to. So now we
You have
need
to like
hold.
strap me down to one of those chairs, like
Yeah.
full on like Clockwork Orange style.
I wasn't suggesting that. I
Eyes.
was more suggesting like we invite you over to like to watch the room like as a group, and like I wasn't suggesting like tying you to a chair.
I was going full on
I mean,
crazy.
if you want to, then I
That's
guess.
the only way we're going to
Maybe.
get them to stay still for that long.
Yes, just in general, yeah, I can't sit still.
Although there are some films that kind of try to slip into that so bad they good genre that I think do successfully do it. Like especially ones that are very, very much passion projects for people, like smaller creators on YouTube who end up putting things out like for free that are maybe like a 40-minute film. One example I have is Kung Fury, which is very much a satire, but it's just like if you were to look at it as a serious film, well, it's tricky because does that even count?
Yeah,
As
because
so
that's what
bad
I was
it's
thinking earlier with like stuff like Scary Movie. It's like I don't think it counts as so bad it's good if it's not trying to be traditionally good. Like part of it is that it's part of the, like a movie being like The Room is like it's trying to be a good movie. Like however like unhinged it is in that, like it is trying to be a good movie.
Right.
Whereas like I think of like what is it like that movie that's like you can literally watch it for free on YouTube. It's like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Return of the Killer Tomatoes?
Well, yeah, Return of the Killer
Yeah.
Tomatoes, which includes a young George Clooney as in like one of the. In
One of his first films.
I remember I was like watching. I was like, is that George Clooney? Yeah, but like that's a film that's like, it is like it's almost like it is being what it is trying to be. Like at that point, it's just a very like slapstick and sort of breaking the fourth wall comedy. Like it is doing what it says to achieve. As
so
opposed,
it's not so bad it's good. It's just straight up it's
It's
good.
like it's a film under the guise of like the premise is it's like this 2 a.m. like public access film.
like it is self-aware of that.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I think so. If a film has to be trying to be so bad it's good, then is it possible for those films that we've been talking about, like the ones that are satirical, to be good? Like this is a massive loop I'm trying to do.
Oh, good.
But like just listen as the cogs turn inside my head. Can one of those movies try to be a so bad it's good movie, but fail, and in doing so fail so poorly that it comes back around and it is so bad at being a so bad it's good movie that it becomes a so bad it's good movie?
I mean, yes, but thinking about that breaks my mind.
I'm trying to follow, and I'm like, I think I've got it. I can't think of anything.
Oh yeah, like terrible podcast.
I mean, theoretically, yes. Like if it's like it's trying to be one thing that is trying to be bad, but then it's bad in other ways that are interesting or funny.
Yeah.
Like, could it go back to being good? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how my brain can't comprehend of that.
Yeah, I'm thinking the only thing I can think of that could come close is like if somehow, because I've only seen the first Scary Movie, like if somehow one of those movies was actually good because it's so bad, like the whole premise is satire of a horror movie, like
it actually goes around to being like
an actual good
genuinely
movie,
like horrifying,
yeah,
and like actually like building tension, but isn't funny.
Would you count then Scream as that one of those kind of movies? Because I think it was you were saying it was meant to be a satire on horror movies, or like a commentary on horror movies, but it is also genuinely a good film.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I think it was trying to be a good film.
Yeah, you can
do
both those things do both those things at the same time. Like, I guess in that case, it succeeded at both. Did it? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't watch horror movies.
Yeah, honestly, I think Scream is an amazing movie because of how niche it is in that sense.
Just the opening scene as well.
And you know what? Another film that goes really good with an audience.
Yeah, true. Like, because the whole point of it is like shouting at the horror movie, and they like poke fun at that in the movie, and then you're, as the audience, shouting at the movie that's shouting at the movie. It's
Also, like,
very meta.
just cheering anytime, like, Dewey, Gale, or Sydney show up on screen.
That's always good. Like when a character shows up on screen and they like leave a bit of time to pause as well. Like they did that with the Spider-Man movie when like Andrew Garfield showed up.
Yeah.
They gave him, you know, when sitcom characters walk in and the studio audience
it's the Kramer effect.
goes, yeah, exactly. They did that in Spider-Man and I fucking loved it.
Oh yes, if you haven't seen Spider-Man, I am so sorry. Blame Ben. Okay, it's been out for a while.
People know that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are in the new Spider-Man. If you don't, you're living under a rock. But also, I guess I'm sorry.
I mean, I know, but I haven't seen the film, but I also don't care.
Yeah.
So,
Same.
You don't care about this huge movie that they totally planned at the beginning and wasn't like, hey, we need to one-up the Avengers. So let's bring all the Spider-Man together.
I'll remind you, I have watched 2 Marvel films.
Oh, yeah. Call back to our first
the
ever.
very first episode of this.
Oh my god.
It's all full circle.
Y'all can watch all the old episodes as well if you want to.
Actually, I'd like doing that. I've watched a couple.
I have.
Recently.
I rewatched the Christmas episode like at least like once every 2 months.
Just for the special guest as well.
I was on fire.
Yeah, that's. I heard he was just tanked the entire time.
I don't know. I think he went
Santa
quite
Claus?
well.
Yeah.
Santa went quite well, I think.
I think he was one of
we
our
book him
best
for
guests.
this year as well. Do
He
you think
only
we can
works
book him?
anyway for Christmas.
I don't know. Yeah, he's a busy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, book in
Building
advance.
presidents
Did anyone get like his email or anything?
Jesus Christ.
Like a LinkedIn profile?
No, he was at one point on the Swinburne on the Pop Culture Club Discord at
okay.
the link tree. I was trying to do a plug, but then I forgot where to.
Do we explain for those who don't understand, or do we just not?
Go and watch episode 10, which is the Christmas episode. It's our only filmed episode. It's our first in-person episode. It's great. I'm on it.
That's
Zach's
why it's
on
great.
It, Ben's on it. And 3 other people who you will see if you watch it.
I'm going to kill all 3 of you. I hate this.
I expect nothing less. This is why I do it.
All right. I also wanted to know, do you guys feel like the so bad it's good genre can like carry across mediums, or is it exclusively like a film and TV thing? Or do you think there can be like a video game that's so bad it's good? Because
there are definitely video games that are so
Yes.
bad it's good.
Really? Because for me, I feel like a video game is such an interactive experience with the player. Like you're so entangled in it that if it feels bad, it's just like you can't really get past it.
Well-
But maybe I'm missing something.
As the resident TM gamer, I guess it would depend on why it's bad. Because like, if it's bad because like, oh, the controls are shit and like it's just and it runs terribly and like, no, that's just bad. Like because like there's like I can't experience this in any functional way. But if it's like the story is bad in such an off the balls way, but it is still playable and like if there's something there that is good, then I feel like it can be. It's harder to do, but because like again, a big part of like, you know, the whole so but it's good thing is like just sitting back and like turning your brain off for a bit.
Yeah,
Which like with a video game you can't really do.
because
And
you're
like
more
with a
active.
game, does it then become like there's like certain elements that are so bad it's good rather than the whole thing?
Yeah, because like
It's like if you
It's more
get
like
if you get a solid game with like weird story or like bad voice acting, it's like it's
Yeah.
kind of fun to laugh at that. But like you've also got the game as well,
Yeah.
which is like kind of fun.
So it doesn't make the entire game bad. It's just like a goofy bit within the game.
it means that your IGN review will lose out on like story and presentation, but will win out on gameplay.
It'll still get a 4 out of 10 though.
Well, I mean, the thing is, no, but I'd say it-
IGN reviews are like completely arbitrary.
I
to
mean,
be
yeah, I
honest.
know, but I'm just saying, it's like, because like for a game to be so bad it's good, like some element of it has to be transcendent, while the other element has to be transcendently bad to like be able to just make it bearable.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I feel like I've said everything I know. I'm just saying it in different words.
All good. I think that's the thing. That's the big distinction is that whether or not it's playable. Because I know, was it Cyberpunk that came out, but it wasn't fully done properly. So there was so
Yeah,
many
games-
glitches
yeah.
and so much
Games
that
that
it
are just
became a meme. But I think in a way that's bad.
Yeah.
Like people were turned away from the game, or were they brought to the game
I
because of
think-
how the glitchy it was.
Some people were definitely turned away from the game because they were going into it expecting something amazing. But on the other hand, it did form this kind of weird zeitgeist of like cracked shit and weird gameplay. And it did like the meme aspect of it maybe is so bad as good. Like maybe that counts.
Yeah.
But I would posit that I say posit a lot. I don't know why. I would posit like in that case, because like the whole like Cyberpunk's and like a bunch of like when like big games come out that are just blatantly unfinished and like are incredibly glitchy and stuff. Yeah, they get big. They get big on like YouTube or like Reddit. They don't get big from people necessarily actually playing them, which is a different thing. It's like, because like movies that are so bad are good, people do actually watch them. People don't play games that are so bad, that are like that bad. They just like look at like videos on them and laugh at them, and then they move on.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Because I feel like as it's more of an active media, like you have to actively be doing something. It doesn't work as well because if it's bad, people just won't play it. Like compare it to like TV shows, like reality TV shows. People watch another thing that I don't understand why people love so much, but like I think people have said it's like watching a car crash. They just can't look away.
Yeah, 100%.
Whereas for a game, you can just, if it's annoying you that much, whereas there's like that
it hooks you.
that element to reality TV shows that they're all so many of them are so camp, which isn't a bad thing in itself, but when it's done, like some of them are just so bad. Like I think there's been compilations of really, really bad editing done in a few of the shows where like they'll cut together sentences that people are saying and you can hear the different microphones that have been used.
Yeah. The
Even-
Frankenbiting?
Yes, that's what it's
Yes.
called, yeah.
Even in like Survivor, they'll have like
Yeah.
the confessionals where they're in one place and then it cuts to them talking in the same sentence, but they're in a different location.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre.
I think like the especially horrendous Frankenbiting is like it always seems to be coming out of like Married at First Sight.
Oh,
It's
yeah, that's
so bad.
yeah.
I guess like the whole thing about like, because I heard someone use this analogy like 10 years ago now. Jesus, I'm old. Where it's like video games have that thing where like they can be bad in a different way than like, because like analogous to like a video game being like its mechanics like not working, like the controls not like just like is like would be analogous to if like you'll watch like a movie just had like, oh, the camera is just facing like 9 degrees in the wrong direction for some of it, and the sound like sometimes just completely cuts out. Where it's like that wouldn't necessarily be like enjoyably bad.
Yeah.
Like if you see like in the room, it's like the camera is still roughly facing where the action is. The audio roughly works. Like so like it is. You are able to experience it. Whereas like if a game doesn't work, it's like you can't. So there's nothing. It's like
Yeah. Another medium I feel like that or mediums, I guess, that kind of accomplish the so bad it's good thing are YouTube and TikTok and all the social medias, because on them you will find creators who to some extent are popular, but are just churning out the worst thing, but it is kind of like really entertaining to watch how bad and like brain dead so many of these people are.
My initial thought went straight to like 5-minute crafts and
Oh
those
my
kind of
God.
things.
Oh yeah.
Those like DIY videos, do not follow them, especially any of the like safety ones. You will die if you try these, like genuinely. There's somewhere like self-defense tips and it's like, no.
I remember seeing one. It was like a person trying to eat cereal with a spoon, but they had the spoon upside down.
I think that was meant to be a
and then
satire.
They
I
hit
don't
it. It was on 5 Minutes Crafts channel.
Gosh.
This is an actual 5-minute
my
craft.
Well, okay, but then you have to ask questions like, so if people are watching that and it's like, does it fall into too bad is good? Because A, we don't know if that's intentional, or B, it's
Well, it's a pretty faceless channel, so you can't really tell if it's like sort of properly satire or not.
But also, then you like say stuff about like, and it's like, oh, like curated videos to watch that like lots of people watch them, but like they're so bad, but I like find them funny to watch. Like, is that a case of just you have different taste than the people who watch those videos?
I don't know, because a lot of them have like millions of views.
Yeah, a lot. There's a lot. I mean, there's like 3 billion people who use YouTube. Like, there's a lot of room for like small subsets of people who no one else finds it cool, but they do.
But even with like films that are so bad they're good, there are going to be people who genuinely enjoy watching so many, like the majority of the movies. They'll have an audience. I think it's just because so bad it's good is such a subjective concept.
Yeah.
It can't really be like, you can't say because they do have an audience they can't be so bad they're good, because like whether something is good or not is like it's subjective. You can't put a label of good or bad really on anything. So the so bad it's good genre kind of is very much an ethereal concept.
It's definitely a category we created to try and group this very particular type of film, like type of media. I think, it's there's no concrete definition because we created it ourselves.
Yeah.
It's inherently a term that like references like it's bad, it's so bad it's good from a mainstream perspective. And like I just find it interesting, like we've gone around for however long and we've now come back to it's subjective.
We're about halfway through our episode now, so we're going to do a game that, and usually we are at least a bit prepared for this segment, but this time, no such luck. So Isaac has been making a little list of films. Isaac, do you want to explain how this game's going to work?
All right, so I've got 7 questions, all based on like sort of relatively popular so bad it's good films, and like things that happen in them, people who are in them, and basically, I mean, that's the quiz.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Cool.
I'm down for it.
Put that down for a sec. All right, so question 1. Which Scream alum starred in the 2005 sequel to The Mask, Son of the Mask? Is it A, Nev Campbell, B, David Arquette, C, Jamie Kennedy, or D, Courtney Cox? Ben?
Is it Courtney Cox?
It is not Courtney Cox.
Ooh.
I don't know who any of these people are.
Same.
It's a multiple choice, so say a letter.
Wait, so this is someone who was in the original Scream,
Yes.
who then went on to be in this other film.
Yes.
Oh, I'm pulling faces. Not you guys can't see. I'm struggling. I'm just gonna say B. When in doubt, go B.
It is not David Arquette.
Damn it.
Okay, I'm
50-50
gonna
chance.
guess
50-50
I'm gonna
shot.
guess C.
It's Jamie Kennedy.
Yay,
Yes.
congratulations.
Which one's who?
I don't know.
He was Randy.
Shot in the dark, baby.
Ah, okay.
What does he look like? Paint me a picture.
God.
How old-ish?
like at the time, I want to say like I think he's in his like 40s now. He was the one with like the goatee.
When did Scream come out?
1996.
Okay.
He was like the film bro guy.
I feel like it's been
The
too
one
long.
who was like being like, you guys don't know the like the rules of horror films.
Oh, the self-aware dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you meant like he was like a jock.
No.
No.
He was like,
The guy who's very much the catalyst for the integrating the tropes
Yes.
into the film and like kind of bridging that gap between the movie and the viewer and all that. Hell yeah.
All right. Question 2. Which directing duo gave us the first live-action Super Mario Brothers film? Was it A, Joel and Ethan Coen?
Ben, I'm just gonna.
Oh.
No, you keep reading. Sorry.
B, Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankel. C, Lana and Lily Wachowski. Or D, Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Ben.
Ben?
Was it the Wachowskis?
It was not the Wachowskis.
Damn it! I was so certain.
yeah, I was thinking, wasn't it? Like,
Wasn't it A? Is it A?
It's not A.
Damn it. I
I
thought I heard you mention
all right,
that surname
I
before
come to the end
today.
to sweep up the 50-50 again. Hang on, so who are the two up? So what? B. So it's B.
So
and
you're between B and D.
And who's B?
So B is Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankel. D is Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
I do. The only proper exposure I have to this is listening to the Leguizamo Armor episode where Zach from Auntie Donna again and his mate Wish Witrup, they like review a bunch of films with the actor John Leguizamo, and in John Leguizamo plays Luigi.
He does.
Yeah, and I am trying to rack my brain to figure out which of those two director combos sounds most familiar. I reckon it's the first one.
You going with B?
Yeah.
It's B, Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankel.
So I think the trick is wait for everyone else to stuff it up.
it's the Bradbury technique.
So yeah, they sort of like got their start doing like MTV music videos. Like I think one of their big ones was Genius of Love by Tom Tom Club, and then they started their film like directing career with a film called DOA.
Right.
Like the early 90s, and then they got that off the back of that and their music video work and Max Headroom.
Yeah. And the Wachowski sisters were Matrix.
Yeah, they were
Yes.
the Matrix. And
No, I knew they were made. For some reason, I had them connected before you even said the Wachowskis. I was like, surely.
But no, we're talking about the Wachowskis is the one from Monsters Inc. What's his name again?
Mike Wazowski.
It's close. I have gotten them confused.
I
I'm
need
like,
a
what are they
knife.
called?
I need
It's like
a knife.
trans lesbian
and a
icons. I
tarp.
have to know who they are, but I haven't seen The Matrix since I was a kid. I need to watch Sense8.
Anyway.
All right. Question 3. Which creature did Tommy Wiseau envision his character Johnny turning into in The Room? Is it A, a zombie, B, a werewolf, C, a mummy, or D, a vampire?
Ben?
Ben?
Now, I feel like this is a trick question.
It is not a trick question.
Is it a vampire?
It is a vampire.
Okay,
knew
very
that.
good. Because he just gives off that kind of, like, despite him being the worst actor maybe ever, he kind of does give off vampire energy.
What year did The Room come out?
2003?
Was that before or after Twilight? Because I think that...
Before.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, if it's after, then, then it would have definitely
like,
been...
led the way for like
Maybe he
vampire
did.
films.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of the early scripts, he was going to like fly off of the roof of his apartment building in a flying car through the night.
That's insane.
Like the end of Grease.
Like the end of Grease.
Basically, except in like a vampire car.
Oh my god.
And at night.
Yeah.
But it's really that, like, kind of foreign, eccentric kind of, like, why is this person in America? Like, who is he? So mysterious.
Oh, they're playing off the Count Dracula trope.
Exactly.
The foreigner.
Yeah.
Is dodgy looking.
All right. Similarly fantasy-themed sort of question. Question 4. The film Troll 2 features no trolls. What are the creatures in it instead? A, goblins, B, elves, C, sprites, or D, orcs?
Jess.
Ben?
I'm going to have to go with Jess on this one.
It's goblins.
It's goblins.
They're eating her. the story of that
It's goblins.
the story of like the inception of that movie is so wild because like the guys who directed it were like from Italy, didn't speak any English, and most of the actors were just extras from the local area.
Yeah.
Which is, I love it. I love it so much.
All right.
All right. Number 5. Which Australian singer features as Cammy in Street Fighter? Is it A, Olivia Newton-John, B, Chrissy Amphlett, C, Melissa Couts, or D, Kylie Minogue?
Jess.
It's your call, Isaac.
I think I'm going to go with Ben for this one.
Was it Kylie Minogue?
It's Kylie Minogue.
All right.
I knew it before you even said the options. Because
All
that's
right.
come.
So, as we stand after 5 questions, it's Jess on 3, Ben on 2, and Blaze with none. So-
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This is not my topic.
I mean, 2 of my answers have come from guesswork.
It's still valid.
All right. Question number 6. What noise do the birds in Birdemic make when they swoop? Is it A, a train whistle, B, a car crashing, C, a plane falling, or D, a police siren?
Ben?
Jess, that was you.
What the hell
Ben.
is this movie?
It's beautiful.
Jesus Christ. It's so insane.
I know.
Like, god damn. I've not actually seen the movie, but I have seen the trailer. Is it a train?
It is not a train
Jess.
whistle. Jess?
It's planes diving.
It is planes
It's basically they took the sound of like a World War II German dive bomber and just did it over a bird flying into a petrol station and causing an explosion.
Yeah.
But like, because it's it's bad like Photoshop level graphics. It's like not well done.
All right. At this point, we have a winner. It is Jess, but I'm still going to play out this last question.
Can we do all or
regardless.
nothing for the last question?
Reckon, what if
All
we-
or nothing for
what
this
if we
last
did all or
question?
nothing
Or-
for the
All or
last
nothing.
question?
Let's do
Or so all or
Can I
nothing.
hear the question first and then I'll decide? If I want to do all or nothing.
All right. So, for the win, which of the following is a one-liner delivered by Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin?
Oh yeah.
A, I'm getting too cold for this shit. B, what's cooler than being cool, ice cold. C, all right everyone, chill. Or D, I got a brain freeze.
Ben.
Ben?
It's gotta be all right, everyone chill.
It is all right everyone, chill.
I could imagine all of those being
The
sad.
thing is, there's so many in there. There's just like
There are a lot.
I was kind of like racking my brain trying to think of ones that weren't already in the movie to put in there.
it's like because how many one-liners there's like Mr. Freeze having that? Probably like 30.
I want to say at least like 50, maybe even more.
Like
Yeah, how did you
everything
come-
he
you- how did
said.
you-
Basically every single line.
How did you come up with ice puns that like they hadn't already used?
It was hard.
It was a good question. That fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger was, dare I say, perfect for that role.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know if anyone else could have done what he did. It was
No.
magic.
I want
the-
to see that movie again now. I
It
feel like I've
was-
seen it.
It's good.
But I
It
can't
will
really
be on.
remember
I
it.
think that Battle and Robin that will
Yes,
be on later.
yes.
They're doing it as part of the second run, which is because the first run was they selected the movies and then they brought Zach in, and then he was like, "Well, you've called this bad movies, but I think Batman and Robin is actually good." So he got them to change the name, and now this year it's just movies that he thinks are interesting for various reasons.
Yeah.
Some of them are good, some of them are bad.
We are not sponsored by Lido.
We are not
but
sponsored.
Lido, if for some reason
We're not
you are
sponsored. In fact,
watching,
we give them money.
yeah,
Don't
That's a
interrupt,
reverse
please,
sponsorship.
guys.
yeah. If Lido, if you are listening, sponsor, maybe. If Lido is watching, watching. It's a video. It's an audio, not that. But oh well. Imagine if they did. There's no way they do. But
Oh, yeah,
like,
no.
I can imagine. We can dream.
All right, so the final score at the end of the game, we have Blaze, unfortunately, no points. Jess on 4. But our winner is Ben, who took the entire game in that last question.
Like, come on, you can't give me a Batman and Robin question. It's the one so bad it's good movie that I'm like intimately familiar with.
Ben truly, I thought Bren was actually the Stephen Bradbury of the end of the quiz.
I don't know what that means.
The guy who won the ice skating at the Winter Olympics by when everyone else in front of him fell over. and he was at the back of the pack, and then he
And I
just
think he was a wild card entry as well.
yeah. I mean, like to be good at level, you have to be good, but like it's the idea of like you won at the last minute.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I won. I'm taking it. A win's a win.
What's the prize?
Oh God. I don't know.
Should we give him Should we give Ben a short round of applause?
Like a light golf clap.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Stop this.
Thank you. All right. So now we've kind of stopped our recommendations for the most part for this season of the podcast, but we'll do because we still have a bit of time left, we'll do a quick recommendation segment just in case you guys want to go off and watch some So Bad They're Good films after this.
Because we appreciate you, the listener, so much. We want to give you something back from this.
So, Isaac, do you want to start us off, being the resident film person?
Ooh, okay. So my recommendation for this week is gonna be Maximum Overdrive, the 1986 Stephen King directed Stephen King adaptation of his short story Trucks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Stephen King at like the height of his substance abuse, and it shows.
Yeah, it does.
It's like
Wow.
one of the most
does.
batshit insane film experiences I've like ever witnessed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a comet passes over the Earth, which allows every single like electronic appliance and like vehicle to gain sentience for a short amount of time, and it follows.
No, it's not even a short amount of time. It's pretty much.
It's like a week.
Not okay. Because here's the thing. My recommendation was also going to be Maximum Overdrive because it's the only one I can think of. But like, no, because I remember it literally reminds me of the best closing like blurb to a film ever, which is the comet was suddenly destroyed when a Soviet weather satellite that happened to be carrying 5 nuclear missiles.
Oh no! It turned out to be a UFO, and the comet just like passed the Earth.
Well, no, that was like the comet was a UFO, but anyway, they blew it up, and then everything went back to normal.
Yeah.
Well, normal after everyone was dead.
Amazing. That's the best plot for a So Bad It's Good movie.
It's like
a
a bunch of
and,
people hold up in like this dingy truck stop, trying to like avoid getting shot down by like military shotguns on
my
trailers.
A suspiciously well armed random truck stop.
Yeah,
They have rocket launchers.
Blaze, I know you said
it's all
that-
like stolen contraband.
Yeah, it's like the mafia has it for some reason, and it's all
Yeah.
just a biker gang has it just
Yeah.
like in the basement for some reason. Watch it. It's on YouTube. Watch it.
Right. Blaze, I know you don't really watch the So Bad You're Good movies, but do you have any recommendations at all to give us?
Okay, well, this isn't necessarily So Bad It's Good, but it's like so insane but also so well done. But it also technically isn't even out yet. I am just so sure it's going to be great given this trailer. It's I don't know if any of you guys were familiar with A Heist with Markiplier, the YouTuber. He had a series. It was like a choose your own adventure thing on YouTube. He has another one that's about to come out, or it'll probably come out by the time this podcast is out, called In Space with Markiplier.
Right.
And the trailer looks so epic. The scenario is so outlandish and crazy, but it fits so well with his brand. And I'm just looking forward to it so much, and I know it's going to be good, even though the premise is so ridiculous.
Right. I used to watch Markiplier like religiously, but I think I stopped when he started doing the YouTube Red kind of stuff a while back. Not because of the YouTube Red stuff, but just as a coincidence. So I've not actually experienced any of that.
Yeah, I highly recommend In Space with Markiplier, if that for some reason isn't out by the time this podcast comes out, or if you want to watch something else. There's also A Heist with Markiplier, A Date with Markiplier, and something else. He's done a few of them, and they're all brilliant.
Amazing.
So what do you mean? It's like when you say like choose your own adventure, does it mean like, is it the sort of thing? Because I remember something like that being very big on YouTube in like the early 2010s.
So the way it works is it'll start with like a couple of minute video, and at the end it'll be the end credit card, the end cards, where it'll say like what you'll give you two options.
Yeah.
And you can select which ones. You kind of follow down this rabbit hole of unlisted YouTube videos.
Yeah. I was wondering because how I remember you used to be going was it was on a single, there was a single main video, but because you used to put annotations that had clickable links on them in the middle of a video.
Yeah, it's
but
a bit different.
they cut that out like a few years ago, so all that broke.
Yeah,
so,
but yeah, that's how he does them. So it's lots of like 2 to 5 minute videos. So creative, so amazing, and I am so excited for the one that's about to come out. Yeah. What about you, Ben? Do you have a recommendation?
So my recommendation is going to be The Circle, which is a TV show on Netflix, which is it's a reality TV show where people are put into like one building but all in separate rooms, and they have to communicate via text alone. And they either get to go in as themselves or play a character. And like it basically is a popularity contest where people get voted out, similar to Survivor, but it's about connections and like texting and pretending to be other people. And it's so goofy, but it's really good, but it's so bad. It's so bad it's good. Whoa, crazy.
Whoa. That's a good idea for a podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like our podcast maybe could be classified as so bad it's good. Like, we don't have any kind of production value except for our like microphones.
But the question, okay, because then it's like, is it bad? Is it good because it's bad, or is it just good but we're not confident, although we are still trying to make it good?
I'm going to leave that one up to the audience.
That we do value, even if we do
you
say that
Or
this
anything
is so bad it's good. We still do value you guys that do listen to the podcast, which we have on both YouTube and Spotify.
Yes, true. If you're listening to this on either Spotify or YouTube, we operate on both. So listen to wherever you want to. It's wherever's most convenient. The
choice is with you. I don't know where that came from.
I also want to give a quick shout out to the Lido, because we've been talking about them this entire episode. They are just across the road from Swinburne, and they do host So Bad They're Good movies, like we mentioned. Yeah, it's a really fun time. Go check it out. It's cheap, it's fun, it's accessible.
Best popcorn in the city.
Hell yeah. But otherwise, our link tree is linktr.ee/swinpcc. And that about wraps up this episode. So thank you everybody for listening, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks probably.
Bye.
Bye.